Good evening, good evening. I might say it 6 times because it seems appropriate for Sunday, just to say it 6 times. Good evening, good evening, good evening, and one more time, good evening to everyone. Hope you're doing well. And I'm going to start off with that first comment. I love that from Pepsi Pack. Early Doors Football TV, Danny Dyer, Russell Brown, Alf Garnett, the Cow Pub, your boys took one hell of a beating. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. So, yeah. Gents, how are we all doing? So, start with you, Budgie. First time onto the channel. Appreciate being on Green Street Elites.
Thank
welcome.
You. Thank you very much. And good evening to you all on the panel. Good evening to everybody in the chat. Let's not make this about West Ham, eh?
I'll go with you, Fuzzy, because obviously you've got some reason to celebrate as well for some reason.
Yeah, strangely enough. Very, very strangely, peculiarly, we've managed to get a win, a third win in the Premier League on the bounce, away to Aston Villa. Not an easy game by any means, and off the back of getting smashed by Chelsea, you would have thought, well, they'll want to wipe the floor with us, but not to be. Yeah, of course, classic Man United fashion, got to do it the hard way. Can't do anything simple. It's got to be done with putting every Manchester United fan on the planet through their paces. See just how far the mental stress can go, and the whatever other stresses that you can culminate when it comes to watching our games. But Super Scott McTominay again, as I've called him, the T800 effect. The Terminator comes on the pitch and has killed another opponent with a goal.
Yeah, I was quite surprised. He's on a streak now, isn't he? Old McTominay.
Yeah, keep him on the bench, please. Don't let him start games. Just keep subbing him on in like the 80th minute. He'll keep back in late winners because he did it against Wolves recently. He's done it again today, and
you said he was crap. You flip flop.
Oh, he is. It's absolutely useless, especially when you start him. He's one of the worst players on the pitch. So that's perhaps what we have to do. Don't start him. Just don't start him.
And something.
Mate.
Same problems with Thomas Souček, so don't worry about it, Fuzzy. Honestly.
We've all been there. Anthony, how's your weekend been? Probably glorious after today.
Yeah, I mean, I sit back, relax, chilled, watch the Arsenal West Ham game. 6-0. I mean, what a result. I was quite surprised with the scoreline, to be honest with you. It just feels like, I'm not like saying anything, but it just feels like, in all fairness, we've scored 16 goals in the last 4 games now. Well, we won 4 on the trot, basically. But I mean, beating Palace 5-0, obviously it felt like that Palace didn't turn up in that game. Beating Liverpool 3-1. They didn't really do much, Liverpool, in that game, and neither did West Ham today. So I was really happy with the result, but I just expected more from West Ham, to be honest with you.
We haven't since the beginning of the year, to be fair with you, Anthony.
Yeah, it wasn't good at all in that. Jez, I'll come to you. How has your weekend been in that? And welcome back, mate. Much appreciate seeing you back here. I think everyone's loving to see you back.
Oh, mate, thanks, mates. Yeah, like the last show I did was last weekend was on here. My one complaint today, we didn't get 9.
True.
I used to like him.
No, all joking apart, mate. I'm glad to be back on here. I'm feeling $1 million. I feel 10 years younger. The yacht went very well, and I'm feeling great.
Brilliant.
What was made a great weekend is obviously today. And yeah, Budgie, good to see me, old mate. You know, back in time.
And you, pal. And like I texted you earlier, and you were the only person I texted after the game as well. Great result for you boys. I'm absolutely fuming because we didn't show up at all.
No.
And I mean, for the first time in my life, I walked out of the game at half time.
Wow.
Yeah,
We
well,
Come back onto that. We will come back onto that. Yeah, I'm going to go with you first, and I'm going to come on to Tony last. It's good to see him in here as well. What a game you guys had yesterday. I mean, unfortunately, it wasn't the result you wanted, but what a cracker of a game.
Oh, it was a quality game, mate. I mean, obviously not coming out on my best side, but you know, I mean, earlier on I felt a little bit rough, but you know, a bit like what's that saying where rough as a badger's horse. I'd be interested to know who came up with that saying and how they know how rough a badger's horse is. But you know, that's just one of those things. Yeah, I mean, we went toe to toe with Newcastle. And we made some major defensive mistakes. I thought we was great in going forward. You know, as I said earlier, we scored some quacking goals because I was supposed to say cracking, but I said quacking even that. So yeah, big up to you, man. And it's not annoying because we actually gave them a game, not like when Arsenal came down to the City ground and we kind of just sat in and didn't really do anything. I thought we did some good stuff, but you can't defend like that against Bruno Guimaraes. You know? So, yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. I went to the shop. I was looking for a drink, but unfortunately, they only have 7-Up. There's not a 6-Up.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Yeah, another one.
Am I low key catching strays here? Oh,
I was going to say, do you notice, Budge? Budge, you notice how you can go for people so quickly these days, isn't it? It's amazing.
I know, yeah.
Really.
I don't know where the unfollowed that is. I can't find it anywhere.
And I've got to say, Paul. I have got Tony Claude in the house. Big up to the big man himself. How are we doing, Tony? Happy man?
Hey, good evening. Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Usual faces I've always been seeing here. Just one of them. Yeti, one of them. Anthony Herbert, one of them. All of you guys, yeah. Fuzzy, big ups to you too, man. Evening. It's a big day and a great day. Ellie Does TV. I should tell you, Tony, yeah. You're a honorable guy for you to actually show up to this show. Honorable, top guy you are, man. Big ups.
Well, I mean, as Budgie said, it's the first time he's walked out at half time and that, but at the end of the day, we are still there, thick or thin, relegation, looming, whatever. We're always there for West Ham at the end of the day, regardless of the result. And that's unfortunately the way it is. I mean, coming back to you, Budge, I mean, what made you go at half time? I mean, obviously, I know the scoreline was probably one.
The scoreline might have had something to do with it.
And the trip home as well, a bit of a distance for you, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's only an hour and 20 minutes or something, but even so, it was made a lot easier with the fact that there was still 60,000 people in the stadium. It gets tough getting home after a game if you stick to the end. But, the main reason I left today, I mean, I haven't been feeling great over the last few weeks anyway, but the main reason I left was because I just couldn't stomach seeing the dross that West Ham were putting out. I mean, to be fair, we probably would have done better by putting out the under-21s, and I actually truly believe that. I'm not saying that lightly. I'm not dismissing the game. I mean, fair play to Arsenal. They came at us with all guns blazing, and they were bloody clinical, and they were really good at what they did. As I said, I've only seen the first 45 minutes. I'm no interest in watching Declan Rice's goal, as good as it may have been. I've got no interest in watching it. But, in fairness, like I said, fair play to the Reds. They done a job on us today. And, okay, kudos to them because they've actually won 33% of the games they've played against us this season.
Yeah.
Had to get that in. Sorry.
The stats don't lie at the end of the day. That's for sure, kind of thing. I mean, obviously, Jez, we've had this conversation many a time, seeing Arsenal fans leave early, but even I was quite surprised seeing some highlights that the crowds were virtually droves leaving the London Stadium. I mean, what do you make of that yourself?
Well, I'll be honest, I was quite surprised to see so many of the West Ham faithful leaving at before half time. Quite a shock to me. I think they were voting with their feet, basically saying not good enough. And I'll be honest, I predicted a tough day out today. West Ham going down to that ground. I've never been to your new ground. I've been to the Bullion loads of times. But going there today, I thought it'd be a tough. It wasn't. I don't know what happened with West Ham today. I did say last week when we played Liverpool, all the time you control the midfield, you can win a fake game of football. Arsenal did it against Liverpool, and we did it today against West Ham. Your midfield, kudos. When I saw our lineup, I saw Kivior was going to be against your man Kudos. I thought, oh dear God. Kivior did a great job on him. He didn't really. Your player Kudos didn't do anything, and you had nothing up front today. It was just like, what is going on? When we went 2-0, then 3-4, game over, and you could just see the whole of the team, West Ham.
But that's the trouble when you play a right winger as a centre forward.
Yeah, fact. And it was like, I thought, I was shocked. I was on a watch along on Tony Claw's channel, and I was giving it the big.
I would have been happier if we'd have played Danny Ings up front today. I've got to be honest.
I'd agree with you on that. Yeah. The thing,
I mean, at least Danny Ings knows what it is to be a centre forward.
Yeah.
Whereas Jared Bowen is a right winger, and you're trying to shoehorn him into a position he's unfamiliar with.
I don't think he likes playing there at 9. I don't think
he doesn't. No, I mean he's openly said, yes, I'm interested in getting as many goals as I can, wherever they come from. But let's be fair, he's had more goals in one game as a right winger than he's had as a centre forward in total. He's had 4 goals? He's had 4 goals, I think, as a centre forward.
Yeah,
might not even be 4. Might only be 3. But Jared Bowen is far more prolific when he comes in off that right wing. Just like dare I say it, Mo Salah, when he comes in off the wing, he's absolutely devastating. Saka on a good day can be, and today wasn't a good day for Saka, I have to be honest. He played all right, he didn't play brilliantly. But, on a good day for Saka, when he comes in off that right hand side, there's no stopping him. It's the same with Jared Bowen. So, to play him as a centre forward, I think is very selfish of David Moyes. And he's denying us as a fair paying public, if you like. He's denying us, the football that we deserve, the true game, because they're having to play positions that they're not familiar with. I mean, some people were critical of him playing Ben Johnson as a left midfielder today. I wasn't. I thought he was quite comfortable there. Maybe I'm seeing something different, but I just think that he needs to find an even kill where he's got the players playing in their optimum position, because without that, we look toothless. And without we look toothless as well. I've got to say that.
It's true. It's true. I mean, Arsenal, mate, great comment here. Early doors, remember, not long ago, we said West Ham aren't looking convincing. I said that from the FA Cup exit. It's continued, and it has basically. Whereas, if you look at Arsenal, you're on a roll at the moment. I mean, Anthony, what do you make of that yourself? Arsenal's form.
Back in 2 seconds.
All right, Budge.
Well, Arsenal's form, yeah. I mean, he's been good. I mean, 4 wins in a trot. We've got Burnley next game. You've got to think positive there. We're gonna I think obviously we'll win them comfortably. And then after that, it brings us to the Champions League game against Porto in midweek. So that is going to be a bit challenging. I mean, there are some Arsenal fans saying, can we beat Porto? You know, obviously to get into the quarterfinals of the Champions League. But listen, I mean, I predicted this sort of run in the Champions League between round of 16 and quarterfinals. Anything, after that is just a complete bonus to me. So that's that. But I just hope that regarding the Liverpool games and the last lot of games, we've got to continue this into every single Premier League game now, right until the end of the season, if we want to achieve something. And when I say achieve something, I mean winning the league. You know, that's all we can do this season.
Yeah.
I don't think we got the standard of winning the Champions League, to be honest with you. But if he doesn't win anything, I even though I would like him gone if he don't win anything, Mikel Arteta, but I think he's going to be at the club next season, and it won't surprise me next season you'll see Arsenal spending their first £1 billion under the same manager. So and anything after that, if he doesn't win anything the following season, he should definitely be sacked in my opinion.
I mean, Tony, do you agree with Anthony's comments? He's shell shocked.
See, man, you just have to agree. With him technically. But there was something the big brother up there said. I just want to tackle that a little bit. Talking about Danny Ings playing, coming in that number 9 position. I think that's problematic. He's only played 12 games this season. He doesn't look good up front. He hasn't scored any goals this season at all for West Ham. It's looking bad. You guys didn't bring up any striker, in the transfer window. That you guys are really paying for it right now. Jad Bowen is the guy for you guys to put down there. He scored 11 goals this season, played 23, and assisted twice this season. He's the best bet for you up front. So I don't see where
not in that position,
Tony.
Not in that position, mate.
But Ings is actually a striker, so I can see the point of what Budgie's saying.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's
I get that. It's just that he's not putting up the numbers. If you're putting up football is a game of numbers. If you're putting up the numbers, you will get your time. You will get your shot. But he hasn't put the numbers this season.
He hasn't the under 23s or the under 21s.
It's a bigger problem.
The under 21s. And Divin Obama was on the bench. Now, he is prolific. He's prolific in the under 21 league. He's prolific. And he's scored, 3 is it, or 4 senior goals, Tony?
About four senior goals. He's
I think he's had 4 senior goals. So why not give the boy a chance, in a game where we're lacking a centre forward. Antonio wasn't even on the bench. We were not promised, but we were led to believe that Antonio was going to be ready for this weekend. Had he have been ready, would we have been 6 or 4-0 down at halftime? I doubt it. Purely and simply because we would have played a different game. With Antonio in the team, we play a different game. And we wouldn't have been quite so open, I don't believe. But things being as they are, I think playing, he had, as I said, he had Danny Ings on the bench, he had Divin Obama on the bench. Why would you bring a right winger in to play as a centre forward when it's not a familiar position to him, and keep a centre forward that's prolific in the under 21 league on the bench? Why would you do it? Just seems I'm not Moyes in, I'm not Moyes out. I'm West Ham fan. So for me, I don't care who's the manager, I will support that team. I don't care who the players are, I will support the team. It's my team. I've grown up with them since 1966. So, that's my team. But the thing is, at the moment, the manager that we've got in charge is abusing his position in the fact that he's playing players out of position. I mean, he put Paqueta out on the left wing. Paqueta is a number 10. He's probably the number 10 that Brazil have got right now. And he's playing him as a number 11. What is that all about? It's just, it seems to me that David Moyes is devoid of any idea. I think a lot of where he's got us to has been blind luck. I really do believe that. Now, I would never have said that a year ago, especially when we lifted that trophy. I would not have said that. But right now, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking he's riding on blind luck. He could cause the major downfall. Right? He really could.
Yeah. I do get that. But anyway, going back to the question, anyway, it's just that because he scored 11 goals this season. So I just really felt that, it might just be the best bet, to just have there for a game where you indeed really need goals. So that's why I was like, placing a shot for him. But again, he did look clueless today. The Arsenal defense shot him down today. As Jezza already spoke about Kudus, that was the one I was a little bit more shocked about today, because we always know that this is an electric winger. You always anticipate a very tasty battle, down that flank, between him and Kivio. And to my surprise, Kivio won that battle, completely shot them out of the park today. Zinchenko has been a calamity down that left this season. Of course, he's had reasonable success going up front, but defending has been a big problem for him. But Kivio has never really settled in that left back position. So I was expecting Kudus to kind of like, take one or two chances and run up on Kivio. He never did that. Even if you can't even escape the midfield battle, at least just try and look the ball, long balls up, and try and have a one-on-one against Kivio. And
Kudus would have been a better.
Find a credible chance against him. But Moyes never chimed into those tactics. I really wonder. I think he got his tactics real wrong. Today, the midfield battle won that game for Arsenal today. Declan Rice running it from the middle of the park, opened up the game, allowed Bukayo Saka lots of space. And Emerson, what was he thinking today? Horrible show from him today. Allowed Odegaard to have an assist, just putting the ball in between the two center halves easily, no marking, nothing. He just had lots of space. I'm talking of Martin Odegaard today to just run the show. And we do know if Martin Odegaard comes into the game, we do know what he brings to the table when you just freely leave him open to just clearly orchestrate and cut in between your center halves. It wasn't looking good today at all. Lots of room even in the central defense in the West Ham 18-yard box. Today you were limited to a 0.30 XG today, not looking good. One shot on goal. Mind you, coming into this game, you guys have only scored 36 goals this season, 7th position. You've also considered about 36 goals this season already in 23 games. So
defensively, we're not good. We're not good defensively at all at the moment. That's the problem. That is the biggest problem. I mean, obviously,
let me just quickly ask the Arsenal that's on the panel. Would you be happy with playing Odegaard on the left wing and Saka as a centre forward?
No, not me. No. I don't think.
Now you where West Ham fans coming from. You see, we're playing our Saka as a centre forward today, and generally we're playing our Martin Odegaard as in Paquetá out on the left side. It's wrong. It's completely wrong, and that's why we're losing games now.
It's quite ironic when you think about it. Sorry, because I'm going to go back to you guys anyway as Arsenal ones, because you got to think the stick that Arteta's got with how he's got your team, and yet you're hearing it from a West Ham point of view. Does it feel like a bit of a breath of fresh air actually hearing another team being slated rather than your manager? getting the slates for a change?
Not really. I don't. I think the problem is that. Yeah. Okay. Look. You know, we can all sit here and wax lyrical. Yeah. And the questions are out there. Is this the fact that the definitive team at Arsenal now? No. At the end of the day, we're in a fight. We're in a fight against Man City and Liverpool. Yeah. And what we're doing today, we've put a stamp down and we've said, we are here, boys. Don't think we're out of this. Now, the point is, we've got Man City in a few weeks' time away at the Etihad, right? Pep Guardiola is going to watch that game and think, Arsenal are in this. It's now down. I've said this early on today on the Tonys and on the Yetis watch log. It's whether Arsenal players are mentally strong. Last season, we weren't. They capitulated. If you remember rightly, it was West Ham where it all went tits up. Yeah?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
So now, it's Arsenal. It's now Arsenal's to make the statement and say, right, we're in this for the fight. And we're going to fight you every single way. Now, the only sad thing is today is if we'd scored 7, we'd have been equal on goal difference against Man City, but we didn't do it.
And I could have got that can of pop, and it would have made sense.
But I'm taking the piss. But the fact is, Arsenal have put a stamp on the table and said, "Watch us, be careful, because we're going to fight you." Right, and that's all you can ever ask from any football team. West Ham have done it. You did it last season when you won your European trophy. Arsenal have now got to sit down and say, we are in this for the fight. We're in it for the duration. We're going to take the boys on. Now, if you take this, we're going to fight you every single way because that is all I can ask. And if the players do that and the manager do it, right, and I will say, I will put my hands up right now, right? If Arsenal was to win this and Arteta wins it, I'll be the first person to say, fair play. You proved me wrong. I've criticised you for 4.5 years. You proved me wrong. You've done it. But until they do it, I'm not going to make any statement or any judgment to say we are favourites to win this. No, we're not. Because there's 2 other teams out there right now, Liverpool, Man City, and they're going to fight it all the way. And we've got Tottenham sitting behind us. We've got to make sure we don't let them spuds come close, right? We've got them away as well. So we've got to go there, beat the crap out of them. And once we start doing that, then we're proving a point. But the fact is, today we got and played a very, very poor West Ham team. Very poor.
Yeah.
And I was expecting more out of you boys, seriously was. But I think the fact that you guys, a lot of your fans walking out, just shows you're pissed off. And I get it. I get it. I mean, why would 4-0 down?
Arsenal played a very poor West Ham, but it was a very good Arsenal at the same time. You know.
Yeah, all the goals.
Arsenal made very few
it's a mixture of both.
You know,
a mixture of both. A very poor West Ham team can't defend, not defending compactly. Your front man totally doesn't want to play as a number 9. Being forced to play as a number 9.
We've only had one game all season where we've had a clean sheet.
Keeps you in there. I mean, Anthony, what do you make of it yourself? I mean, you feel like this is a resurgence for Arteta and Arsenal now. You're going to push all the way.
Well, I hope so. You know, I mean, getting 4 back-to-back wins and scoring 16
guys.
Oh, mate.
Oh yeah, scoring 16 goals in 4 games in total. That to me, that says it all. That's good. But I just don't want us basically. I want our foot on the accelerator, and I want it down, right down, from now to the end of the season. I don't want no lifting off. I don't want no spirals when we start losing games. I don't want to see any of that. As long as I see players on that pitch giving 100% and winning games. Listen, I don't care if we win, as in a win like this today, or we play ugly and we win a game. like how Manchester United used to do years ago. You could win games by playing ugly as well. This is what Arteta's got to put into the players now. If it's like what I said, if he wants to win anything this season, hopefully, I hope he do. I'm the same as Jez. I didn't want Arteta in. I've given him stick for 4.5 years now, and I'll do exactly the same. If he wins us that Premier League, I would also put my hands up and say, mate, you've done it.
Yeah.
Right? But it's like what Jeff says. Until then, yeah, you know my views on Arteta. That's what I'm going to say.
No, of course. I mean, Fuzzy. I mean, obviously, seeing Man United started to have a good winning streak in that. I mean, would you make of Arsenal's resurgence over the last couple of games?
It's just more, for me, I look at it as more a case of Arsenal just doing what they should be doing. What we should, if we're talking about an Arsenal being a title contender, this is what we expect an Arsenal team to do, and do it week in, week out. Not look like you get knocked down a peg or two when times get a little bit tough. Now, of course, if you come up against poor opposition, you can only really play what's in front of you. If it's a poor West Ham, it's a poor West Ham. If it's a poor Liverpool, it's a poor Liverpool. You see, you play against opponents that are in form, beat them. Opponents in poor form, beat them. Just every single team, the expectation should never waver, should never change. Expect to beat them. Demands that your team goes out and puts in the performance it needs to do to beat the opposition, irrespective of what level they are, irrespective of what form they are. So for me, Arsenal, I think from where they've come from at the start of the season with all the question marks, for me, keep throttling it right to the very top. Keep throttling it every single game that comes to you. Make it look like you're showing the signs of the sort of early to mid part of the season last season, where you weren't really fussed and handsing about. League titles, all you care about is just beating the team that's in front of you on the day and doing well by it. That's your sole focus on at that moment. You can speak about titles when you're about 2-3 games away from the end of the season and you're sat in first place and no one really knows which way is this going to go. From last season, you could see when the fall off was starting to come, you could see the direction where it's starting to go. Arsenal need to put this out of doubt, right? Kill off some of that doubt, put yourselves into a prominent position, and think about where you went wrong mentally last season. Don't let the complacency set in again this season. There's still a long way to go.
Absolutely.
But there's equally
don't
a
go
huge
Spursy
amount.
on you.
Exactly. There's plenty of opportunities to really cement something good here.
Yeah, of course. I mean, what do you make of Arsenal's suddenly resurgence of form?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's what they needed to do. They needed to actually show that they were serious and actually, get among them. I said it earlier, said it before yesterday. Pressure's on you now, Arsenal. How are you going to handle it? And they handled it well. And I don't think West Ham, personally, I don't think you can fault the players. I thought they put all the work rate in. But I mean, I'm not a big advocate for kind of walking out. Sorry, Budgie. But the thing is, back in the day when we weren't doing very well, I wanted to stay to make sure my voice was heard. You know what I mean? Because by the end of the game, there's hardly any West Ham fans in there. So Moyes can't hear the discontent. He can just hear Arsenal fans celebrating because maybe they've got more in the ground at that time.
But he can
I'm
see
also
it, though,
major pissed off as well because, again, Arsenal have just smashed someone and we've got next.
Yeah.
So you're going to really go for it against us. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, big up to Arsenal. I mean,
we did that to piss you off, man, because it was when
You did it to hurt me, Jez. You know you did. You did it to hurt me.
well, when we do the watch along for that on your stream, it's going to be fires because it was a setup, man, to do you. End of story.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like as alluding to what Tony Neary said here, we had a good run last year and still shit the bed at the end of the season. You have to see if you learned anything from that, and that's what I made a comment before. It's the case of you have to be consistent and consistently good if you're going to carry on winning the league, because full well those as we said last week, if you didn't win this game coming up today, then 2 games that Man City had in hand counted for nothing if you couldn't do anything today. Exactly. And obviously, yes, we were poor. There's no 2 ways that West Ham were looking at the what I've seen of the highlights, because like I said, I didn't actually see the game myself, but looking at the free kicks that we conceded, it was poor. For a defensive side of things, it was really poor. I mean, I see Alvarez, I think for the first one you scored, not even attempting to leap up in the air for the ball. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. So no, fair play to Arsenal. I mean, for me, and then yes, I've first seen the comments. I knew I was going to get pelters. I know I've got it when I'm going to go into work. But at the end of the day, no, I mean, fair play to Arsenal. They turned up and they did what they needed to do, and that was basically get the 3 points, and they did that unanimously.
Yeah. And
Tony, sorry, Tony, I wanted to take a cue from what Fuzzy said. Fuzzy, you made a comment about Arsenal, like this is what we should be doing. We should be doing this, a week in, week out, or something like that. But again, I also want to issue a caveat here. Don't forget that Arsenal did not do good business in the January transfer window. People have seemed to just, drive that, under the carpet. And, in the grand scheme of things, you don't have to just sweep that, under the carpet, because you do need a big bench to actually win titles, to be very sincere with you. We didn't bring in a striker in this January transfer window. We didn't bring in that extra midfielder. We didn't even bring a left back to come help us out, at the end of the day. So there's still some clear lapses down there. So expect some little bumps down the road a little bit. There will be teams that will come up and, try to stifle us. We're not the perfect team at all. In fact, that's far from it. But the thing there is that we'll just take it game by game. Right now, nothing is a given. We'll just take it game by game and just move. But we're not that complete, product right now. I still feel that there will still be some games this season that we might still encounter that will have problems scoring goals. Jezza, you were in the show today. Yeti, you were in that show today. In the first 20, 30 minutes, we were a bit nervous when the goal did not come in. And we started thinking, okay, maybe a striker has cost us this game too. Because, we're just coming up from Erling Haaland scoring 2 goals and helping Manchester City, showing that extra bit of quality, and why you need a big, strong number 9 striker to be there scoring goals for you. Arsenal still doesn't have that. So there might still be some games that we might have to struggle this season. So that's why I would take it game by game and keep this consistency and the fire burning. That's just the only thing we can do. But we don't have any divine claim over this a trophy. We're not favorite for it at all. Far from it.
No, of course. I mean, it's quite ironic if you look at it. There's 3 panelists in there, including myself, which obviously Anthony, Fuzzy, and myself. We do the good, the bad, and the ugly show, and it's quite ironic when you think about it. It's the fact of 1 minute Moyes was doing okay, Arteta was there and thereabouts.
You know where you are on Wednesday.
Oh, absolutely, mate.
Someone's going to be real ugly on Wednesday.
I've actually got to put some bruises and some scars on my face, I think, for that show.
Missing tooth or 2.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'll be the whole shebang there, Fuzzy.
Don't worry, I've got a whole mouthful of missing teeth.
Oh, Fuzzy, Budgie, you know what I mean? But Fuzzy, I mean, obviously, if you look at it now, Ten Hag, all forgiven?
Not really for me. I mean, it's still, as we've said, for in terms of Arsenal, they get to where they want to go. Still a long way to go. Man United as well, a long way to go. We could still end up in a really, really terrible spot come the end of the season. But we've started something good. let's get it going for as long as we can. And we are now 5 points off of fifth place in Aston Villa.
Yeah.
So we're closing that gap. Got Luton away next, which is probably one of the only games really that I see coming up that might pose actual problems for United, funnily enough. But
You winning the league?
No. No. No shot. But it's like, take us back 3-4 weeks ago, and we're sat like 8th, 9th place, and you're like, oh, Champions League is just beyond doubt. Like, no doubts we're not getting it. Nowhere near Europe. Are we even going to get Conference League? Now it's like, well, you get a little bit of run of form together, a little bit of consistency, and I suppose one of the biggest feats in that is the team selection. Because one thing United have unfortunately been forced with is having to make changes almost every week. Most cases due to squad fitness, player injuries. I mean, we had even Luke Shaw coming off at half time today. In the first half, you would have thought, well, he wasn't actually that bad. Well, second half, Lindelof suddenly on the pitch at left back, and you think, well, you wouldn't make that decision tactically, surely. So again, squad fitness means that there's a lot more changes yet again that we have to make, and having to move chess pieces around to try and make something work. So it's stumbling blocks, I think, for the team. And Ten Hag, I mean, once or twice we look at the situation in terms of the tactics in the game, and Aston Villa, quite a few times they cut through the midfield quite easily, and you say, well, tactically, why are you telling Bruno, somebody who's not quick and someone who should be more of a creative element of the team, why are you playing him off the shoulder of a centre-back? He's not the guy to make the runs in behind. That's Højlund or Rashford's job. They're the pacey players in the attack. He should be further back. And it wasn't until later in second half that perhaps Bruno was actually starting to get in defensive positions and starting to commit back there. So, tactical decisions, Ten Hag is not really going to get himself out of the woods just yet. I think there'll still be a question mark or two in the coming games that you look at it and say, what's that about? Why have you made that decision? And it's not going to be the last time. Well, the last game we lost was against Nottingham Forest, courtesy of him down there. But we're going to lose more games this season, for me. We're going to lose more games this season. Maybe the next loss we have is against Forest again in the FA Cup. Who knows?
It is, mate. It is.
Or it might be Luton. Luton might be into the punch.
Doors. I'll be taking my leave now. I told you that I was going to stay for a short period of time.
No, but thanks for coming in, Tony.
I should have been in a watch along with Lee Gunner and Ola, but I decided to come here for the first half hour.
Thanks, mate. While you're here, Tony, do you want to share your channel out, please, mate?
Yeah. Guys, I really respect Elidor's TV, big brother. Thank you very much. For shooting me down the link to come down here. And I also work with lots of people down here. Anthony Herbert, goodness from all corners. Shout out to that show. Of course, the big Jezza down here was on my show today. God bless you, brother. Yeti, God bless you too. Fuzzy, big up to you, man, all the time. And Budgie, big up to you. I don't know you. This is the first time. Good vibes with you, sir. Nice to meet you today, sir.
And
God
it's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Have a lovely show.
Thanks, Tony.
And my channel is Tony Todd Gunner TV. Just come see me. I run a small channel there, and I work with this, this big wigs down here. Yeah, and I would like to call us the real one. So, big ups to all of you.
Thanks, Tony. Take it easy.
Thanks, man.
Love, man.
Ta-da.
Thank you.
That's good.
Very
So yeah,
nice
I mean,
guy.
he's all right, old Tony. He's a good old fella.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
I mean, obviously, Happy Emirates asking me, did you hear the post match? No, I didn't actually. I mean, did any of you guys hear what Moy said after the game?
No.
Nobody wanted to hear it. To be
Yeah,
fair.
probably not. Yeah. By that stage,
Mate,
TVs have
you're
been kicked
sounding
in.
more and more like a West Ham fan now.
He was going off on one. He was shouting,
God.
and then after he was going off on one, he was going beep 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 beep, and they went, "Thank you, Davis." And then, cheers, mate. Fuck off.
You have to know
Slowly
more
see the
to
P40.
understand what he's saying.
You slowly see the P45 just coming on the side of the screen of it, and that's probably why the profanities were going off.
Well, yeah,
out of my
because I've seen the comments on that. I'm going to go on to the other games. I mean, obviously, to finish off with this West Ham Arsenal game. The comments are flying thick and fast now. Does this mean Moyes is going to get sacked? Do you think it warrants that, Budgie?
Oh, mate, listen.
And I'm probably asking the right.
Well, listen, right, to be fair, like I said earlier on in the show, and I've always maintained this, I'm neither Moyes in or out. But I really feel that around about the World Cup time was the time that we should change managers, even before our European win. Maybe the European win wouldn't have came. Who knows? But I think David Moyes has spent all of his currency now. That's just it now. I mean, I think he's now, on borrowed time.
Is that chocolate European trophy you've got?
It's more than you've got, son.
We've got two proper ones.
I'll tell you what, why don't you come over to the London Stadium and have a look at what an actual trophy looks like?
Oh God, we're going to get to that, are we?
Yeah, he's gone there, Jess. He's gone that path. He's lead him in, and he's won it, and he's got.
We've got 2 stars, not 1 chocolate star.
Oh God, he's gone there, isn't he?
I'm getting in on this conversation with Troy.
But then again, we have got a trophy which is equivalent, or if not, is equivalent to the Europa League, which is the Cup Winners' Cup. I always want to see that.
Yeah, West Ham have got that as well. So
let's
just put that there.
Yeah. We've also got. Whoa. Let's put it right. We also have the Fairs Winners' Fairs Trophy. We won that.
Also got a dinner plate.
That's the UEFA Cup. So we won that one.
Yeah.
Big up pain.
Yeah.
Well, let's be honest.
And West Ham are the only team in the world
keep
to
catching up, guys.
Trophy
I can hear
called
what
the
you're saying.
Betway Cup and never actually win it. So there you go.
That's facts, man. That's facts.
That's true.
Let's not talk about trophies anymore. Get rid of that bloody picture behind you, Fuzzy. Get rid of it. Thank you. That's it. I'd rather see Cristiano Ronaldo doing all that rather than anything that you just had behind you. Good God.
What we need in here, Budgie, is a Tottenham fan and say, well, what have you won then?
The Audi Cup. The Audi Cup.
Yeah.
Well, listen, one of my best mates is actually a Tottenham fan, and I give him shit all the time. But actually, this season, I've kept it stum because they're really actually playing well. So I can't really say too much about them at the moment.
No, that's true.
Still can't say their name.
They'll never won fuck all, though, have they?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, this is a true story, right? Years ago, I used to help a mate of mine when I was up in Islington. He used to run a kids team, right? And he was a Spurs fan, right? He lived up North Islington, and he said, I've arranged a stadium visit. And I went, all right, where are we going? He went, Spurs. I went, oh, fuck off. So we've gone round. It's this lovely old gentleman take us round. And we've gone into the trophy room. As we're walking in, right, there's a door. There's these 2 doors like this, right? And there's this door. And I've opened it up and I've gone, well, there's fuck all in here, isn't there? This old boy turns around and goes, what? I said, well, there's fuck all trophies in here, is there? Like fucking trophy room. And
it was a mop, a bucket.
If you keep that up, I'm going to throw you out. And I said, fucking please do.
What you should have said to him was, did they ever catch the person that robbed the trophy room? And, which means the fella that got away with the carpet out of the bottom of the cabinets.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, just let you know, big up to Daniel Ian that he is a Spurs fan and that, so he, he'll appreciate the humour as much. Well, I hope he does anyway. And that, I mean,
Daniel.
I think Jez told me the story. He actually blew the top of the cabinet and went, and he went, fucking hell.
While you've got that comment up there, Tony, can I just give out a big shout to the Bowling Lounge? This is,
of course, mate.
This is a brand new channel that's going to start putting out content.
Oh, brilliant!
Very soon, and it's all conversation about all kinds of football. Obviously, he's a West Ham fan. It's a West Ham based channel, but he will be inviting people on from all clubs and stuff. And it's going to be all nice and calm like this. Going to be similar to this in some respects, but just want to give him a little shout out because he's just beginning to get himself out there.
Absolutely.
Well, he's got a sub from me, mate. He's got a sub from me already.
Big up to you,
Jeff. And good luck with the channel as well, mate. Good luck with it. Thanks for the shout out there, Budgie. Anyway,
thank you.
That's good.
What was his name again?
He won't be sacked.
The Bowling Lounge. Did you see there?
Bowling Lounge.
Bowling Lounge.
He might not get his contract back. Yeah, good shout. Actually, Jeff, I'm going to link to your channel in the chat. I'm sure nobody will mind that.
No, should be no problems at all. The European Farmers Trophy. Face Pepsi pack. We also have 14 FA Cups and 3
Premier League titles.
But does your trophy
would have been 15 in 1980?
It's all gold.
Does your trophy have fans built into it? Does it light up different colours?
Wow.
That looks like a cake.
Where's that?
Mate, it's literally got the stadium.
Under the bucket.
Can't be the stadium, it's not falling to pieces.
No, it's that stadium. The one that they're
Ours is newer than Arsenal Stadium and it's falling apart. Every time the roof leaks, the toilets flood. It's fucking brilliant. It's great. You keep thinking you're treading in piss, but it ain't. It's rainwater.
Bloody hell. Well, the Bowling Lounge has now got to 13 subs now, so thanks for the panel.
Yeah, no problem.
Brilliant. Thanks, guys. Thank you, everybody.
Yes.
Actually, we could do with a West Ham fan in the community.
Coming out very soon.
No, that's right. What am I then? Yeah. Sacrilege.
You're a waiter.
Yo,
waiter in a restaurant. There's people. There's a bloke behind you. Bless him. He's got his hand on his head. He just wants his food. Just want his pint in his food.
Look, the service is quality here, mate. What do you think I come here all the time for? It's absolutely quality.
To be fair, I've not seen him move since like for a week now. you glued your customers into their seats. They can't leave.
Same barman. He must be getting tired. Don't you ever give him a day off?
Big old Wolfie. So the Forest game this day. Obviously, I know Mama's very happy that she's got the win. How did you feel about the game? Did you feel upset that you didn't get the result, or did you feel like you put the effort in and you was happy with the performance?
Yeah, I was happy with the performance. I weren't happy with the defence. I mean, I love Mama Flossie to bits, but go away, please. At the end of the day, we did well. We lost the midfield, as Jez has already said, and I was seeing as well. Getting a bit tired of getting the midfield in games and then giving it away again, because that's what we keep trying to do. And not trying to do, but that's what we keep doing. So it's kind of annoying in that respect. I mean, we scored 2 quacking goals, which I said earlier, which I meant cracking, obviously. But it's just I love what we're doing, sort of attacking wise. but the defence is letting us down. We keep losing concentration. And against a team like Newcastle with Bruno Gomes, you can't leave him with that amount of space. You know, the first goal for the corner. I mean, come on, man. I mean, he's got the freedom of the City ground. That ain't the way it works. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden he gets like another one where he's just in front of the goal, ready to shoot. Somebody's got to get down or get to him or foul the guy or whatever. Give a free kick. They might score from the free kick, but he's definitely going to put that in. You know what I mean? And then the second one, we just don't win the first ball, and then it goes to Shaw and he just puts it in the net. It was shocking, mate. I mean, I love the fact that the goals we scored was class. Callum Hudson-Odoi, Alanga was brilliant. It was a bit sort of, I said earlier, it was a bit Collymore-esque. Not really Collymore-esque because you passed him the ball and then he just ran round everybody and then scored. So weren't really that. But I mean, the pace that Alanga used to actually score that goal was absolutely awesome. Am I a bit worried? Yes, 100% I am. And I want them to get this point deduction sorted out so we know where we stand.
What's going on with that anyway?
I have no idea. I mean, Jez said they might do it next season. I don't think that's fair. We broke the rules, so just get it done.
Yeah, I suppose similar to what they did to Everton, didn't they? They held it off from the season before. Sorry, Jet.
I personally think, sorry to interrupt you, I personally think it'd be better for Forest right now.
100%.
You're in a relegation battle, right? Yeah. Either they're going to say right now, that's your 8-point deduction, whatever points it's going to be. You know your fate. You know your fate. You're then in a major fight for survival. Yeah. If you continue to get through the season right now, yeah, and it keeps you up, okay, and then at the start of next season, you get handed a points deduction, right? You're still in the Premier League. You're still there.
Yeah.
If you get an 8-point deduction right now, you're done.
I hear what you're saying, Jez, but the fact of the matter is they've done it to Everton. So why should we have to wait a season?
From last year. That's from last year.
If that's from last year, then fair enough. But it's just like, you know, I mean, we got lucky yesterday because Everton and Luton lost. If they didn't, and obviously it'd be a totally different story.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean,
if Notts Forest were to start next season as a championship team, and then they're given this, let's just say it's an 8-point deduction, they're immediately fighting relegation from day one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. And that gives the team a mindset, which is, you know, negative generally. When you know that you're fighting relegation, your mindset does tend to go on the negative.
Yeah. And the thing is,
it's going to take some hell of a manager to bring that team to the place where they need to be to forget about that 8-point deduction or 6 points, whatever it is. If it comes at the beginning of the season, you're probably going to be luckier than if it comes, like, you know, later in the season towards Christmas.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, if it comes at the end of the season, I mean, that's just disgusting, to be quite honest with you.
I don't think
just get it sorted out.
I personally, I think Everton got their deduction 10 points from last year, right? I think,
but it was about 6 weeks or 8 weeks into the season before they were given it.
Yeah.
By that time, they were already fighting relegation.
The thing is, Budgie, right? You know, you just made a great point about mindset. Yeah. Nottingham Forest right now are in a shit position. Yeah, they're struggling. They're thereabouts. They're drowning, but they're bobbing their heads above the waves. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get an 8-point deduction now, they're not going to come back from that.
Oh, that's too much weight on their ankles, mate.
And they're gone.
Oh, no, I think they'll come back from it.
Right. Now, for me, if I was a Nottingham Forest fan sitting here right now, I'd be saying, I want the points deduction if it's going to happen. If it happens, I want it next season in the Premier League, not relegated into into the Championship, as you just said, because you're starting off in a shit position from day one. You're better off, you're better off getting through, surviving. Yeah, you're surviving in the Premier League. Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're still in the Premier League, and you've got every chance that you can fight it. Point deduction. All right, you're going to start -8, but at least you can fight that. If you're -8 in the Championship, right?
Yeah, there's a chance that you're not going to be getting out of it.
No, you could be back in Division 1.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, a team
you could end up with the scenario that we've had with who was it? I'm trying to think who it was now.
Leeds.
Anyway, they dropped right down. Yeah, Leeds. They dropped right down to Division 1, didn't they?
Yeah.
Was it? No.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they've had to fight their way back, and it's taken them something like, I don't know, 16 years to do it.
Yeah.
That's a long time to wait for top class football when you're used to it.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
I mean, I think the fairest way to do it is, as you said, Jez, you know, wait till the end of the season and give them to their deduction, whatever points that may be, at the beginning of the season, so that they start off on a minus. At least, as you said, there's going to be more desire to reduce that deficit, and they're going to fight harder, and you know, you're going to see hopefully a better style of football from them. Because, let's be fair, Nottingham Forest, like West Ham, have been hot and cold all season. 1 minute, you know, you're looking at their fixtures and you're going, oh, I feel so sorry for them. And they've come out with a 2-0 win or something, you know, and they need to be more stable in their approach to the game at the moment. I mean, Callum Hudson-Odoi is a fantastic signing for them, in my opinion. Absolutely fantastic. Probably the best signing they've made since they've been in the Premier League.
I'd say Morgan Gibbs-White, to be honest.
Well, you watch them more than I do, to be fair with you, Yeti, and you probably would know better than I do. But as an outsider looking at it on screen rather than on the pitch, for me, Callum Hudson-Odoi brings you Champions League experience as a squad player, Europa experience, Premier League experience, you know, and, you know, as good as Gibbs-White is, he doesn't bring that. You know, that's why West Ham have relied so heavily on, in the changing room and stuff, on people like Kurt Zouma and Emerson Palmieri, because they have that experience. They brought that with them, you know, when they've come to the club. And that's probably one of the reasons that David Moyes made Kurt Zouma the captain, because of the experience that he's brought with him.
Yeah.
Now, don't ever underestimate that, because I think if Callum Hudson-Odoi was made club captain, you'd see a very different player. You would see like he would be your Declan Rice kind of thing. He really would. You know,
I don't think I'll be honest with you. I don't think he's captain material, to be quite honest with you. I think
maybe not yet.
There's other players that are captain material. But I mean, the thing is, I mean, we got him for like 4.5 million.
Yeah.
And I've always liked the guy, to be honest. I've always thought he was a little bit greedy, but he seems to be playing a little bit different for us, you know, and he's doing the business, you know. So you can't ask for any more than that. But the work rate that Morgan Gibbs-White puts in every single game is just immense. It's immense.
Yeah, I do like a player. I do like,
and that's the kind of players I like.
That's what we all got.
But
That's what
Everton start off with minus points, Nick, because they've already had their 10 points deduction. Everton, they got done again So I think that with their second lot of points reduction, if they do it, it most probably be the same as what Jez said about Forest. They'd be better off starting it next season. So you'd have Everton and Forest both starting off with minus 10 points or how many points it is. So yeah, I can see it from Jez's point of view.
Minus 10 in the Premier League. If, say, for instance, we stay in the Premier League and you get minus 10, minus 8 or whatever, that's huge. It's massive. Whether it's the start of the season, whether it's the end of the season. You know, it's going to be.
But then again, you've also got to consider that if you did survive, there are 3 other teams that are not going to be there next season. And 3 new teams will come in.
Yeah.
Now, generally, the teams that get promoted into the Premier League are generally considered to be the weaker teams in the league.
Yeah.
This will be Nottingham Forest's 3rd season in succession of being Premier League team.
Yeah.
So that will give them a bit of boost, you know. Obviously, I've never played like professional football ever in my life. I've only ever been a Sunday league player, really, to be fair. But I know what the power of success can do. And being a club that were dismissed the moment you arrived in the Premier League as being cannon fodder, and let's be fair, they were. Forest were.
It proved you wrong a lot of times as well.
You're deep into your 2nd season. There's a good chance that you might survive this season and be Premier League next season. 3 years in a row. That's massive for Forest right now. Just like West Ham being in Europe for 3 years in succession never happened in our history.
Well, we've been out of it for 23 years. And the thing is, what you got to understand is the teams that look like they're coming up next season ain't going to be whipping boys because they already know the Premier League.
That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just going to go to a point here because it's quite an interesting one. Daniel Reed's putting here straight away. Forest don't get deducted their points this season. It makes Everton go down. It would have a right for a legal case against the Premier League. Now, fun enough, the other
They've
side
already
of that,
got one, haven't they?
Well, this is Everton, isn't it? Because when you think of the likes of Leeds, I think it was the 3 clubs that went down, they've got a case against Everton if Everton stay up. And I think it equates to something like £400 million. I think we just talked about this before. So that's going to be quite an interesting thing. What's going to actually happen there?
When Leicester got relegated, I think there was something similar to Leicester. They could have taken some clubs to court or something like that. You have to read into it, but I did.
Sheffield United. Sheffield United, when they got relegated, when we had Carlos Tevez and Mascherano and them, we had to pay them something like 5 million, wasn't it, Tony?
I think it was a bit more than that. I think Olding told her a budget. I think if I remember rightly, and that equates to nearly £42 million.
Well, look at Man City. They've got 116 charges against them.
Yeah.
But nothing happens with them yet, and they're supporting get away with it. And I don't care if any of their fans are watching this or what, but it just
they've got expensive lawyers, mate.
Yeah, but it roils you, doesn't it? Doesn't it make you? Doesn't it think right? So if Everton could have the 10 points deduction, and so could Nottingham Forest, so why don't Man City have a heavy fine and let's say a 15 points deduction?
You're only saying that because you're Arsenal and you want to win the league by them getting deducted.
Fucking right. But what I'm trying to say is it should. I believe in that's what it's called, financial fair play. But where's the fair play in that? There isn't any.
No, I agree with you. I think there's a lot of things that the lawyers are actually shutting down, so they can't actually go into it.
The whole thing is subjective, right? Because at the end of the day, Everton, the case in point is Everton. 10 points, right? What happened to Leeds United was subjective because that was poor financial management by the chairman and the board of directors. If you break, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and profess I know about FFP because I do not. But at the end of the day, it has to be on a flat playing field. I'm going to say to you right here, right now. You tell me one Premier League club that hasn't broken the rules.
Exactly.
Oh, there's got to be loads of them.
Exactly.
I would sit here right now and say Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham, West Ham, Fulham. They've all broken the rules somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
It's all down to how clever you are at hiding it.
But I will guarantee you, though, Jez, that West Ham have never broken the rules by spending too much money. All right? It's never been that. It's never been that.
Right. That's very true. That's true.
We could hang about, Budgie, hang about. We could say you fucking ripped us off by paying £105 million for rice.
Money well spent, Jez. Money well spent.
No. Soldier scene, son.
Money well spent, we say there.
Oh, man. Well worth the money.
Judging by what I've been told about the goal he scored today against us, I think you got your money's worth, mate.
Well, he did.
I think that would be a £90 million goal.
He didn't celebrate. He didn't celebrate.
No, he didn't, did he? He didn't celebrate.
It was that. And he was just walking.
I never understand that, to be honest.
And
the other thing, of course, even with this comment that's on the screen about Everton and Forest surviving, if Everton do go down, it'll be the first time in their history that they've been relegated from top flight.
Yeah.
1952, last time they got relegated.
Wow.
The first time we've ever been relegated as well. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, there's a couple of questions I'm going to come back to later on in the thing. Now, I'm just going to go through some of the comments, but yeah, I mean the Rice goal. When I saw that, I mean, if you look at it, the fact that Odegaard and Trossard made a right howler, who's going for it? You know, to you, to me, it looked like the Chuckle Brothers at that point. You was lucky that Rice actually picked up on that. I mean, yeah, it was a hats off class goal. You know, when it's one of those types, isn't it? No matter if the team beats you. When you see a worldie scored like that, you tip your hat and say fair play. You know it was a good goal. I hope Luke can say personally, and obviously, the Man City one, as we've just alluded there, I think because of their lawyers and whatnot, and by all accounts, as I think we said before, this could drag out till now 2030 before anything gets done against City, which is is ludicrous because obviously any other club, like you said, Forest, Everton.
They got to be given time to spend the money they're being given.
Yeah, this is the thing, Budgie.
Tom, just one more thing, mate.
Yes, mate.
There's a question to me in the chat.
Yeah, I'm going to come to them. I've got two questions.
Right.
I've starred them, so I know they're there.
Yeah,
I just want to. I haven't forgotten them. 1 goal and 2 assists for Rice. Yeah, exactly. See, money well spent, Jez. See, you got value for money there.
I was taking the pick.
No,
Most expensive goal and 2 assists.
Look at
exactly.
He's got his prey in sight. Look, you can tell.
Daniel
I've seen him eyes before.
Yeah, same as Spurs.
Budgie, let's get it right, mate. I know you're old, so let's not dance around down the table. You know, I'm always going to take the piss out of you. You know that one.
Of course. Of course. But
He's
you can only take the piss out of me 33% of the time this season.
That's real. Daniel is saying, Spurs, same as that, Spurs, we never broken the FFP. In fact, we were the only team that spent the most money without breaking FFP at the moment. Interesting comment. Big T.
If anybody wants to see in the comments, if anybody wants to see a Budgie and Jez face off, just put it in the comments, and that'd be brilliant to see on the live stream.
No, we're not going to be playing them again this season. So you might have to wait till next season. There might be a couple of transfers.
Mate, Budgie and I are too old for that now.
That's it, mate. I'm going to come up and have a beer with you soon, actually.
Good,
yeah,
right.
I'm meeting up with you very soon. We're having an old time beer up.
That sounds good.
I'll send you a message and we'll do that. I just want to grab a drink. Hang on.
No worries.
Big T say, early doors, what do you think of your club looking after the poor fans and selling cheaper tickets for your first half only? Yeah, I know. It's not good at all. Not good at all. Budgie. So let me just go to the questions. So the first one is basically to Anthony and Jess from AFC Always. How many games can you see Arsenal winning for the remaining 14 league games?
They got to win 14, haven't they?
Simple as.
As simple as, yeah. Or if not, you got at least, I think, at least win 12 and draw 2, and that's at least. But Jez is right. They have to win all 14 games.
I can't see Man City losing too many. It's the same old Man City, right? You get into this point of the season and they kick in hard, right? We saw it last season. We've seen it for the last 3 seasons previous. Once
you mean as soon as De Bruyne comes back from injury? You mean?
Yeah, you know, as soon as that kicks in, man, then you know. So I'm sorry to have to say it, right? It's mathematical. It's simple. If Man City kick on now and they win every game, Arsenal have got to win every game, and we still lose.
Yeah, it's
and
true.
it was this time last season they kicked in.
They got a game in hand. Come on, right?
Yeah.
Liverpool are going to kick it in.
Realistically, though, Jez, how many do you actually see Arsenal winning out of the 14?
2.
Do I realistically see it? I see 10.
I'd go with that.
We got City away. We got City away, right? You know, so we've got a stamp of authority. We did it today, but we've still got to turn up and play the game. We got Chelsea, we got Tottenham away, right?
Yeah.
And we've
Have
got
Newcastle away as well, haven't you?
Yeah, you got Newcastle
home.
Home.
I think it's a home.
Yeah, we got Newcastle at home after Porto. Then it's followed by Chelsea, Man City, back to Porto, and then obviously the rest is there. I mean, the last before game 37, we've got Man United. The game before the last game. So
a title deciding game. could you? I'll tell you what. I'll be the most hated person in our little group community if Man United, if Arsenal on the brink of winning the Premier League and Man United beat Arsenal second to last game, and then City snatch it on the final day.
Fudge, I will come and find you. I will come.
You won't have to look very far. You won't have to look very far.
Seeing as we did that to you quite a few seasons back, I think me and Tony would probably back you up this time round, mate. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's true.
Jez, you don't actually.
I'll be with Jez.
Jez, you don't actually live too far away from me, so you won't probably be looking for that long a time. So,
everybody lives near Jez.
I know
we live in the best part of the country, not a down Bristol way.
Mate, I'm meeting up this fucking long and soon, Budgie. You know what I mean? We're the proper old school back together again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, team. Yeah, we'll have to move close to Jez now.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. Well, actually, I'll be passing through Budgie's and Jez's territory and Fuzzy's territory next Sunday. I've got to go and get my daughter, so I'll be kind of passing through that area. I shall have my bag of manure and that as I'm flying past, and that. Don't worry about that. I'll be okay. No problem.
You throw manure at me, mate. I'll never speak to you again.
Just make sure you don't accidentally veer off on Junction 6.
Oh, mate, become UFC.
When I meet up with Budgie for an old school day drinker,
mate.
Come and join us, fella.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good, mate. Yeah, it does sound good. Question to Yeti from the Bowling Lounge. Do you think it was a good decision to sack Cooper and appoint Nuno? Well, before he says anything, Cooper's been sacked.
Yeah, he's been sacked. Anthony never told me.
Never told me.
Anthony, mate, why have you never told me that Cooper's been sacked?
I don't know, because I didn't know myself, mate. I thought you were doing a fantastic job.
Oh, come on, Jeff. Yeah, he still thinks this is episode 1.
Time warp.
So, to answer your question, mate, I mean, Cooper had the City ground as a fortress. I think that answers it, because now it's not a fortress. now we're actually losing games and things like that. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think it was a good idea, to be quite honest with you. I know there's a lot of Forest fans that do think it was a good idea, but you've only got to look at the stats and look at the way it's going. And Cooper had the City Ground's a fortress. It ain't a fortress anymore. It's a fucking sandcastle.
So, attaching another question to that view, then, Yeti, what you're saying really is that you've sacrificed being a solid winning team for
fighting
better football, worse results. Yeah, because it is better football that you're playing right now, I think.
Yeah.
But you're not getting the results.
I agree with that.
Which is exactly what a lot of West Ham fans are actually calling out for. Get rid of our winning manager and bring in somebody that plays better football.
Yeah, but you lost 6 at your home stadium. We ain't yet.
No, that's all right. Well, considering before that, the last 6 we did all right. There's a comment here for Arsenal Manic. Yeah, I swear from afar, Jez and Budgie look like cousins and brothers. I hope neither offended by it.
No, mate, I'm not offended by that.
Good.
Goes back in time. You know what I mean?
Back in time. Yeah,
I think Jez is a very good-looking fella.
We can call him Budgie Collins. That's
nah, man.
It's all feathers.
It's all old.
Yeah, I know. It is. Yeah.
Big up to Hanno, and the guy in the top left sounds so familiar, almost like I've heard it on TV. Well, it's either me or Fuzzy. Which one it'll be?
I think it's Fuzzy. It's his voice, isn't it?
Well, as we're looking at it, your top left, Tony.
Could be me then. Could be me. Interesting.
Must be you, sir.
Tony, it's Man City equal points and goal differential with a game in hand. They're in a pole position. Yeah, this is the thing.
I don't think it's Tony, because I got to be honest with you. Tony's like this on the screen, though, isn't he? He's like that.
Yeah.
Slowly disappears. Oh, Tony's gone as well. He's doing a Dave. He's doing a Dave cab.
See then.
Anyway, Sky Sports, you can tune out now.
Yeah, exactly. Big up Narcane as well. Fuzzy, I mean, how do you feel like, with City kind of, again, they're kind of possibly going to be winning the title again? How do you, as a Man United fan, feel knowing that could be inevitable?
Well, that's all shit, isn't it? Just shit, same old story. Man City just, we talk about other leagues or farmers leagues, and you got Man City, who probably the most serious club about actually, controlling and dominating a competition. And I mean, 115 charges or not, the way they run themselves today is much better than anybody else says. So we can say, well, Man City, they've got themselves into this position, maybe broken a couple of rules in their methods to getting there. But at the moment, now that they are there, even if they're well within regulation, doing it way better than everybody else. And it's up to the likes of Manchester United and Arsenal and Liverpool, whoever else. Don't want to talk about Tottenham because they're Tottenham. But there's up to those clubs to actually put a stop or an end to Manchester City's dominance. And the only way really that you can do that, not sit around hoping on charges, but rather actually start to take the competition seriously, try to find ways of actually outdoing Manchester City on the pitch, off the pitch, in all different areas of the club. That should be the endeavour of every club, to be the best club in the country, try and one up each other.
Fuzzy, in fairness, mate, 20 years ago, we were all saying that about Manchester United. Under Alex Ferguson, everybody was saying we should be aiming to beat this club on the pitch, off the pitch. signing players, whatever the case may be. So it's weird how that kind of dynamic has switched from the red side to the blue side of the city.
It's a more
Manchester
of a bit
seem to just be able to dominate the money in game. Don't know how, because they're crap. Both of them are. But no, joking aside though, I'm serious. 20 years ago, we were talking about Man United like that. And now it's Man
Yeah,
City.
we was.
Man United used to be considered the richest club in the world.
Yeah.
Ferguson was
Yeah.
always going to
Hopefully.
be took back to follow.
I'll tell you what, hopefully, if Sir Jim gets it right, Ineos gets it right, makes us more, it might be good commercially. If we get success at the same time, could turn back into the richest club in the world, but also most successful. And then it might sway it back in Man United's favour in terms of the dominance tree. But that's all. It's all a good saying that we have to see the actual actions come to fruition and that you see the work get put in. But there's a chance of it. So, be a glass half full. We can hope that Sir Jim breeds a new era for Manchester United to reclaim top spot.
Is
There's a big
that
chance to do
nailed
it.
on then, Fuzzy? Is that nailed on? He's going to get it. He's going to have the club. Or
Well, I
is that
think
just a
it's-
general consensus of opinion?
Well, with the ratification, I think they're saying that it's within, I think it's like last weekend, they were saying, it should be done within the next 2 weeks. There was an update on paperwork of like the initial stage of the, I think, acceptance stage by the Premier League, and now they've just got to finalise everything. And they said within the next 2 weeks or so. So I think once that final green light is given, that's when guys like Sir Jim, Ineos, Dave Brailsford, they can start like actioning things. They can start signing off for things and doing the work. At the moment, they're still having to say to the guys that are currently at the club, say, "Oh, can you do this for us? Can you do that for us?" But you can't trust them to sharpen a pencil. It would end up. It would end up halfway up their nose, without putting anything on paper. So, for us, it's just waiting and anticipation. Let's see what happens. Maybe it's everything really takes off with all the fireworks going off and everything. But possibilities is that this ratification happens and it's still quite quiet. You can't.
But you've got to do your stadium up first, ain't you, Yeti? Man United needs to do their stadium up first. But last time I went to Old Trafford and went on the toilet, you couldn't even flush a poo down because they were all broke. The roof's leaking, rats all over the place. It's terrible. So, I mean,
I'm not sure why he said Yeti. I'm not a Man United.
I was just saying,
Careful about the rats at Old Trafford. They've all got season tickets.
Sorry, that question was to Hottie.
He's got me on his mind.
No, that was you chatting to me. Sorry, I was chatting. I was chatting to Hottie Totty there. So he's just, you have got to spend the money in your facilities first, basically, because it's absolutely dire Old Trafford at the minute. I mean, I've got friends that are Man United fans, and they travel up to Old Trafford, and they literally say that it is just awful. Literally, he's especially in these games this time of year. He said the roofs leak. Obviously, like I just said it, the roofs leaking, swarming with rats. I mean, you were mentioning something about raw chicken, wasn't it? We've discussed on the shows before with food poisoning.
What's happened to the prawn sandwiches?
No, Cantonel's not there anymore, so they had to move on. From there. Big T's got a question for you though. Fuzzy saying, with McTominay having more Premier League goals than Hoyland, with less Premier League minutes played, is McTominay our best attacker?
No. Yes. You could say maybe one of the more clinical attackers in terms of his goals per shot ratios, if you want to go into those sorts of conversations. But as for like his all-round game, so what he offers in all different departments, his impact off the bench is basically, well, instead of making him a defensive midfielder on the pitch, let's just throw him at the opposition's goal. and he'll get on the end of something. It's kind of like the hit and hope merchant, but if it works, it works, and you can't really have any complaints if it does work. That's just kind of the way it is.
Why is Anthony still there then?
Yeah, exactly.
Talking
Well,
about
I mean,
rats in the stadium, that's probably one.
I'll tell you what though, unused substitution today, Anthony wasn't brought on, wasn't even considered.
Fuzz,
Maybe
Fudgy's
it's
in your house, mate. Fudgy's in your house.
Yeah.
What are you doing over there, mate?
Actually, I've got to be honest with you, that's Kenny Ken's background. Get out of Kenny's house now.
Yeah. Kenny leaves his doors unlocked.
I was waiting to see if anybody noticed, to be fair.
Great comment from the bowling lounge. Yeah, Fuzzy looks like Jimmy Carr, but look at his background. He's probably bought that with his tax avoidance scheme.
Sergio Ratcliffe gave me tips. Sergio Ratcliffe gave me tips. He's good with that sort of stuff.
Oh, so it's an issue. Look, Ivory Coast have equalised in the AFCON. 1-1 there.
I found Yeti Stadium.
Get it done so we can have our players back.
Yeah, stadium. Look at that bit in the background.
Castle in Nottingham.
Yeah, we're all moving in. We're all moving in.
Look at all this lot. I can't afford that kind of thing. Look at all this lot bigging themselves up.
I don't need that lot yet. I live in Dubai, so I'm all right.
It's the version of Dubai where it always rains.
You had to Bay steak.
I actually use my piano. I can actually play the piano, so I actually use my one. So I'm challenging you to a little playoff. You know what I mean?
Go on then, get on with it. Go on then, get behind you, get on with it. Let's hear it. Anybody can go.
I've got a bass guitar. It's got no strings on it.
A load of wankers that sing that song.
Big up, Stephanie.
A load of wankers that sing that song. The North London song is a load of bollocks.
Oh, yeah.
I recognise him.
Actually, talking of Arsenal fans singing, I noticed you've adopted a couple of the West Ham related tunes for your chants over there in the away end.
Ah, it's bollocks, man. Fucking bollocks.
10 more years, 41. And then what was the other one? Oh yeah, we got Super Mick Arteta.
Even else.
What is that about?
That one up.
If you start singing "I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles," you need to slap them.
No one can have that.
This one.
No one can have that.
I'm forever eating ribeyes. Out in Salt Bay's Beloved Road.
Blimey, where have you transported to?
I'm in Nottingham.
Morocco or somewhere?
You see, look, it's on that side of the stadium.
Yeah, the Stag Castle. Yeah, I get it.
That's proper background now. Proper background.
The question being asked here to us, I think this is me and you, Budgie, G6328. Are you Moyes out, the West Ham fan? No, I'm not. I mean, at the end of the day, I think he can still turn it around. It's just a fact of everyone has a bad day at the office, but today, yeah, he got it completely. You know, when Moyes gets it royally wrong, he gets it royally wrong. There's no two ways about it.
You said you was Moyes out the other day. You flip flop.
I've learned from Fuzzy. That's what he's never a flip flop.
I think, Tony. I think the fact is, I think today you just came up with an exceptional Arsenal team.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We just played you off the park, and that just says to me that there is a team in there under the right time.
The player in Havertz as well, apparently, according to you.
a different manager. Yeah.
And the fact
in answer to that question, though, about being Moyes out, I've already said it.
Got it right.
I've already said earlier in the stream that I'm not Moyes out. I'm not Moyes in. What I am is a West Ham fan, and I just want the club to do well. And under the current management, we're not doing well. So I think that got the players that are capable of drawing a result for us, dragging out results and stuff. I mean, we've got some exceptional players, but at the moment, the management side of things isn't going well. So I think it's time for a change.
Yeah,
I agree.
Whether that be, one of the assistant managers being promoted, like I always want to call him Hilfiger. What's his name? Oh God, what's his name?
Nolan.
No. Hertinger, is it?
Oh, Hertinger, yeah.
Heitinger.
Yeah.
I mean, apparently he would do a very good job. I don't know very much about him.
Can you keep
But
him
I
until
don't
you
know.
play
There's definitely something wrong with the management at West Ham currently, and I think it needs to be changed.
Do you think Potter would do a good job at West Ham?
Sorry,
Potter. Do you reckon Potter? If Moisey was to leave, do you reckon Potter would do it?
I wouldn't want him a foot near East London, let alone Stratford. No, not Potter. Not for me.
It's a great question there. Sorry to interrupt you, Budgie. Booty Lounge, serious question.
I was going to come to that,
Who came with that soppy North London Forever song? Some fucking wanker. You're from. We actually formed in Dial Square in Plumstead. But it was actually the workers at the Woolwich Arsenal Foundry that founded the club, and our first game was actually played in Millwall, funny enough, and the home ground, the manor ground, was actually at Plumstead, and then obviously the rest of the story, and they moved to when they got a bigger club, became a bigger club, Arsenal. They, under the Woolwich Arsenal name, they moved to Highbury because they needed a bigger ground, and they leased it from the university there, and the rest, I say, is history.
Mm-hmm.
You're quite correct. Arsenal were South London club. So this bullshit, North London forever, fuck off up your ass, because that song is bullshit. It's all about drugs and bloody prostitutes. So
but Jez, we made you because we actually gave you shirts. Brian Clough gave you shirts to play one of your games.
Well, Brian Clough did.
So we made you. So let's have some respect.
Brian Clough didn't. He wasn't born with it.
Well,
and if you want the history,
funny you should say that, because West Ham only got their colours by borrowing tops, I believe it was, from Aston Villa. We played in black. Thames Ironworks played in black.
Arsenal originally played in white. Wow. Sorry, I lie. Dial Square played in white. If you want to know the real facts on that one, the Yeti, right? We signed 2 players, amateur players, when you were an amateur club, Arsenal an amateur club. We actually signed 2 players from Nottingham Forest, and they brought their shirts with them.
Nottingham Forest.
Sorry?
Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest. Back in the day,
Nottingham.
Back in the day, right? Back in the day, players, when they were amateur players, had to buy their own shirts. And the big question to that, the big answer to that, actually, from Nottingham Forest, was the club supplied Arsenal, Woolwich Arsenal's first football.
So you should give us all your trophies then.
He says, don't let that out the bag. We'll get done by FFP.
Straight away.
You should have Super Mick Arteta.
I'll tell you what, if we give you all our Division 1 trophies and our FA Cups, then you can write those 2 stupid little dots you've got on your shirt off.
You can go fuck yourself. You keep yours up, we'll keep ours.
I mean, Budgie, did you hear this rumour? Apparently, Carrick would be a good choice as manager at West Ham.
He's been spoken about a lot by a lot of West Ham fans, a lot of the West Ham fan channels. Carrick has been spoken about a lot, and he's doing very well with Middlesbrough. But I think that's probably about his limit at the moment, is to be a Championship manager. If he gets them into the Premier League, then he deserves to stay with them in the Premier League. I don't believe that he is experienced enough or has the right mentality to manage in the Premier League at this current time. Given time, maybe in 5 years, Carrick would be a good choice. But right now, we need someone that's capable of taking the pressures of a big league with European football. Because, at the moment, we're still looking at European football. Let's not beat around the bush. So, we need a manager that's capable of dealing with the pressures of those competitions. And I'm sorry, I don't believe that Michael Carrick is capable of that right now.
Yeah, I agree on that.
So, I'm not against him at all. I think he's doing a great job at Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
I've got to say, Hot Fuzz, that is brilliant, because that is Spurs ground.
It is. I love that one.
The toilet bowl. The real toilet bowl of
I love that one.
Yeah.
They'd rather Carrick than Potter.
How did you do that?
It's been... if you look, Jez, when they were building the stadium, and also because they said it resembled a toilet bowl, that's what someone come up with.
I can remember. I can remember when they came up with it.
Harry Hill would make a great West Ham manager.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, there's a guy I've been kind of banging the drum for, if you like, and that's Danny Blind. Now, his son Daly used to play for Manchester United, but Danny Blind, he's currently the number 2 at the Dutch national squad. He's managed at club level. Okay, he didn't do super well, but as the assistant at the Netherlands, his record is fantastic. And the way he is with players, people want to play for him, because he's got a great character. He's got a good approach to the game. I mean, maybe somebody like that would be worth a punt, international level management. He's actually managed, I do believe he's managed the under-21s at Holland as well, to, like European competition and stuff. So, he's got quite a lot of experience in high-pressure games. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah. That should be interesting to see what's going to happen over this week with him anyway. I will touch on it just slightly. I know it was mentioned in Jez's show. The talk of the blue card.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Why? What's the point? I just don't see. Mate, they can't get the red and yellows right. So why give why make it even more confused with blue cards? It's just, I don't get it, man. Sin bins in football? No. It's just going to be an absolute shit show. I'm sorry. It's pointless. It's pointless.
Yeah.
The referee's got a red and he's got a yellow. If he wants to give a sin bin, 2 yellows. If he's got a blue, right? I'm getting confused myself now, right? If he's got a blue and apparently it's going to be 2 offences to get a blue card, right?
Right.
Okay. So he's then got to go, right, blue, go in 10 minutes, whatever. I'm sorry. And if it's the goalkeeper, then it's a slide on, slide off. I don't get it. I don't get it. What's the point of it? If you've got, look, the laws of the game have given the powers to the referee, right? If the referee's not happy with dissent, whatever, he can give a yellow card. And if referees were to adhere to the laws of the game, Tony, which you know as well as I do, right, if you've got that power, yeah, you can say to if a player comes up to you to a match official, yeah, and it's in the laws of the game, foul and abusive language or dissent to a match official, foul and abusive language is an instant red. If it's dissent, it's a yellow. And if that player gives dissent or touches the match official, give me a yellow card and say, next time you're off.
Yeah.
End off. Yeah. If you did that within 2 months of the start of the season, it'd stop it. Easy. But
No,
the problem is the referees do not adhere to the laws of the game. When I refereed at a decent level, yeah, the first thing I used to go to both changing rooms, right? And I'd get both managers and both captains, I'd sit them down and say, right, this is how I'm going to run my game. Foul and abusive language, violent conduct, you're off, red card, no excuse. I'm telling you right now, all of you in this changing room, this is my yellow card. This is your first warning. If you want to abuse me, dissent, or any other match official, or foul and abusive language to an opposing player, that's a red. Dissent to me or match official, that's a yellow. You get one warning and you've just had it. Never really happened. I got straight in the face. And and I know I'm talking amateur level. I'm not professional. Amateur.
No, but it's right. I agree with you, Jess, because I mean, you know, at the end of the day, what I like with a referee is when they set their stall out early with you. They tell you how it's going to be, and if you do this, it's a yellow card. If you carry on, you're just going to take a hot shower. Simple as that, basically. I mean, like Christopher Walls obviously said, if they want to get rid of dissent towards referees, start sending players off for it. And that's what it's got to be. But it's that consistency, you know, like as we said in your show, Jez, it's no use bringing in the rule of managers being outside the technical area. It's going to be a yellow card. And use one game, issue a yellow card, and then it's now commonplace again. It's back to being normal. So if you're not keeping that consistency up, it's not going to work.
But what I want to know,
go on, Anthony.
What I want to know is how much abuse Yeti gives Jez. Why haven't Jez given Yeti a card? That's all I want to know.
There is blue card.
He gives it back.
No, it's quite easy. It works.
He's a prick, but he gives it back.
Fuck off.
Being devil's advocate with that, you know, I mean, about you know the officials and stuff, you know, it's all very well, you know, carding someone for dissent or, you know, foul and abusive language or whatever else it is. But the thing they should be trying to do, instead of punishing that, they should be eliminating the necessity for it, or they should be eliminating the desire to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
used to do,
kill the cancer at its root, if you like. Do you know what I mean? Rather than, so the players need educating, really, to be fair. The players need to be educated about, you know, the conduct on the pitch, you know. And to be fair, a lot of clubs do try to do that. But, you know, there needs to be a blanket organisation that say, right, these are the rules of the pitch. You know, if you do this, or this, you're going to get a yellow card. If you do that again, you're going to get red carded. If you do this, and this, you're going to get a red card. You know, there needs to be a hard and fast set of rules. At the moment, they're too bloody flexible. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, somebody can go in, studs up, and, you know, the player gets a foul awarded against him. And then a player in claret and blue might go in, studs up, and he gets, red carded. Or, you know, like, you know, somebody might jump up for a header in the box and accidentally elbow the keeper in the face and nothing's given for it. Or a player might go up and accidentally get elbowed in the face and act like a bitch rolling around on the floor, and gets,
Yeah.
the other player carded,
Yeah.
fined, gets himself a penalty, etc. I'm just saying there needs to be less flexibility in them rules, really, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, there's an
Is
interesting
there
one
any
here from the
fines with
bowling.
these cards? Is
Sorry,
there any
mate?
fines with these blue? Is there any fines with these? You know, if you get a yellow, you get a fine. Then you get a fine for a red.
The
Is there any
fines are
fines
like
with these
taking
blue
a
ones?
pound off me.
I mean, basically, yeah, taking a pound off. Yeah, I mean, basically, in the league where the sin bins where I am, it's just literally you can have a yellow card and that's a sin bin. Yes, that's a 10 minutes in there. There's no fine, but while you're in the sin bin, you can still get a second yellow card and then it becomes a fine. You can also get 2 yellow cards plus a red card and you get fined 3 times. So it's a bit of a it's a computation. I mean, this is an interesting one though. The bowling land saying blue cards actually already exist at grassroots level, and obviously the league I'm not, it's not there. Someone given a couple of months ago and asked what the fuck it was. So if it's around and about, it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Can I just say something?
Yeah, of course,
Tony?
mate.
I'm tired of it, to be quite honest with you. You're taking a beautiful game that's always been a beautiful game, that's been a beautiful, simple game, and you're making it complicated.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of it. It's like, is it a yellow? Is it a red? Is it a blue? It's a bit like Superman. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Or is it Superman?
They're trying to digitalise an analog game. That's what they're trying to do.
It's ridiculous. He doesn't need to be in the game. There's so many things that they've brought into the game that have just confused and complicated it. And it's a simple game. 11 players against 11 players, and one lot of 11 scores more than the other lot of 11. I mean, stop making it fucking complicated because it's just getting boring. I mean, I tell you what, get rid of the blue card, and let's just have Skittles on the pitch and taste the rainbow. I mean, what the hell is it all about? Honestly, just let me enjoy my game.
Well, yeah, when you come on a stream next, you can actually tell us what the blue cards are actually about, because if you might starting off on minus 10, 15 points next season, you get relegated, you'd be playing up against those blue cards, wouldn't you? So you can say it on stream.
He's full of joy, this fella, isn't he?
He's giving you flu already. Look, there you go.
Anthony, 10 minutes.
10 minutes. All right. I'll take it. Bye.
No, I'll give you an. There you go.
Yellow card. I mean, because as Will Hooper says there, I mean, if you look at it, we are going to be looking at 100, 110-minute plus games, aren't we? And it's just going to be absolutely ridiculous.
And it's open to corruption as well. The struggling as it is. And then you're
Does anybody know why there was 7 minutes added on at the end of the first half at West Ham Arsenal?
No,
not at all.
No.
It was 7 minutes on the clock, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I know another thing that annoys me as well, when they thought that Saka might be offside, put the line on the screen.
Yeah, what's that? Yeah, I've seen that as well. Just going to go, Chris Wolves.
Why is it not like
straight on? Yeah.
Why is it like this? I said on the watch long, right? I'm on the Yeti. I'm sorry, Tony Claude's, right? And I'm like, I can't see if that's offside at an angle like that.
No, you couldn't.
You can't see it. I said, I think
the damn line on there.
I did say, I think number 5 from West Ham played him on, right? But it's a close call, yeah. But I can't see. I'm sorry, my eyes aren't that great in 3D to be able to tell me those angles. Yeah,
no, of course.
It's like that, straight down the line. Yeah, he's offside. He's onside.
Exactly. Just put the line on.
Crazy.
There.
Just the Champions League offside thing, because they draw the wall, don't they?
Yeah.
You can see the body part that is offside. Literally see the body part.
Spot on.
It's not hard, is it? It's not hard at all. I think, Jez, you already answered this question. Yeah, is it 2 blues to get a yellow, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's mad. But yeah, I mean, if it's already out there, why are we not adopting it? That's the question.
don't know, don't understand it. It's just
Maybe because it's not working to the way they expect it to at the moment.
Just leave my
You know,
just leave my
They've
game
got to
alone.
trial it at some
it's true, yeah.
point, haven't they? You know, and they're trialing it at the lowest level of football, really, realistically. You know, where there's a hell of a lot more passion involved in the game, I would say. You know, so they're probably trialing it where there's more likely to be bust-ups between opposing players and stuff. Just to see how it plays, and it's obviously very difficult to police because you might give a blue card to somebody for something, but in the next instance a similar thing might have happened, but the geezer's got a nosebleed, so he instantly gets a yellow card. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So so I think that's probably what it is, because there's no real clarity on what card is given for. It's an offence.
Yeah.
Okay, give him a card. That's
thing
it.
is-
Whether his nose is bleeding or not at the moment, you're going to get a yellow card.
thing
And
is,
if it's
Budge,
severe enough.
is
No common sense.
it's going to make it so difficult for low-level beginning referees.
Yeah.
It's difficult enough, right? When like, I don't know, round where I live now. We live very close to each other, right, Budgie?
Yeah.
And you know, West Sussex North, League 5. It's crap football. It's crap, and people want to kick the fuck out of each other, right? You know how I've sent more players off when I first started off in that sort of level, right? Because it's just kick and hope, yeah. And you've got a new referee who's like 17. He's just done his laws. He's come into the game, and he's now got a red, yellow, and a blue card, right? Yeah. And he's now got to deal with proper farmers playing football.
Yeah.
Kicking the shit out of each other. Yeah. And
then smoking a fag at half time and coming back on doing the same thing again.
Or a Sunday morning, 9 o'clock, blokes have been out. And I've had it, right, on Hackney Marsh. I've had it where people are fucking throwing up on the side of the pitch, right, because they've been out in the piss all night till 3 a.m. They're turned up at 9 o'clock, still pissed out the fucking heads, right? Been on the smoke, been on the beer, right? And they're kicking lumps out of each other, and they're giving it all the big one. The reason the problem is we don't get proper referees now is because I spoke to a guy the other day, right? He's still an assessor, right, in football. And he said we are struggling like shit to get referees to come through because of the amount of abuse they get. Now, you bring these sort of things into the game, right? It's going to cause more controversy, more abuse, more problems, and people are going to say, "Fuck this! I ain't doing this for a job."
Yeah, exactly.
And that isn't helped by the fact that the stewards in the stadiums don't give a shit either.
No.
They really don't. They're just there to get their day's wages. That's it. They don't give a fuck what goes on around them. They really don't. There may be the odd one or two that do, and please forgive me if I'm tarring everybody with the same brush, but in general, I mean, I've witnessed it so many times at the London Stadium. There's like strong words between two people, and the stewards walk away. They walk away. And it's ridiculous. Honestly, it's only the fact that there's a police presence there that there is peace at the stadium.
Minor.
At some points.
Minor, yeah.
It's not the police that it used to be, because the clubs now have to pay for the police in the ground.
Yeah.
So you don't get that amount of police in the ground that you used to get years ago. I mean, I get it. Back in the days when there was all the kicking off and the fighting and what bullshit. But the fact is, these stewards are there getting paid whatever they're getting paid for a game. They're getting a free entry. They're getting whatever they're getting paid, right? They don't want to get involved in all that shit. I don't blame them.
No, of course.
If
They don't get paid enough for it for a start. And the other thing about the stewards though, that really is pretty frustrating, is when you go and ask them, for example, where's the nearest exit so that I can go and have a cigarette at half time? They ain't got a clue. I don't know, mate. Go and ask my supervisor. They haven't got a clue.
That says it all.
You know, and they're there week after week.
Should know their own place. Big shout out to Ants Leicester fan channel. Big up to you, mate. Good to see you on the channel. And that. Going to just go for the last comments, and then we're going to start wrapping it up, boys. So the bonus saying 7 minutes added because the ref thought Arsenal went and scored enough in 45 minutes. That's probably right. Because not being funny, 6-0. Yeah. I thought that kind of flattered us because I think you should have scored a lot more goals than that. I must admit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going for the last channels now. Anthony, you want to shout your channels out, please, mate?
Basically,
Evening, Jack.
I just want to thank Early Doors for letting me come on tonight. You can see me on the Early Doors TV on the good, the bad, the ugly. I want to say big up to Hot Fuzz for coming on. I want to say big up to Yeti, who's a prick. And I want to say. And I want to say big up to the two brothers in the middle as well. Fantastic. And you know what? Even though with this history and stuff that Jez and Budgie talks about, I always find it fascinating because it's not just Arsenal history, it's West Ham history as well. And do you know what I mean? It's nice to know a bit of history about other clubs as well. But I do want to see more content from Jez from his history because I do love his the history about my club, Arsenal. So I just want to say big up to that. Thanks a lot.
Nobody fucking watches it. That's why I can't be bothered.
Oh, well, I do, Jez. I do. I'm your one and only fan.
Jez.
Thanks for your kind words there, Tony. Thank you, mate.
Carl Rossi's got a nice comment about you, Budgie. Needs to do voice acting. Hardest speaking voice I've ever heard.
Thanks, Carl.
Hot Fuzz, you like to say it at your channel, please, matey?
Yeah, man. Well, there's 44 OG. Find me on, of course, YouTube and Instagram. People watching the show from my channel, from my end, you can find all the links to every person that has featured on tonight's show linked in the channel description. So if you're watching from my end, make sure that everyone does go and subscribe to everybody that is linked in the stream description. But it's been a pleasure tonight. Of course, we've marveled at the spectacle that is West Ham getting hammered, served up Sunday lunch, hot gammon on a plate, and Man United continue winning ways, but for how long? But it's been a fantastic show, and thank you for the invitation, and big ups to everybody else on the panel, of course, to Budgie, to Auntie Herbert, to Jez, to Tony Corcano, of course, from earlier on, and to the prick below me. Don't get
I was hoping.
The one we all love.
He's getting it tonight, yet. He's really getting it tonight.
He's getting it tonight.
Shit with shit, mate. Bring it.
Yes, it's next.
No, I'm going to leave Jez till last because I know he's going to say the biggest one. Budgie, let's share your channel, please, mate.
Yeah, thank you. You can catch me on, we'll start off with Twitter X first, at Budgie Uncaged, all small case. You can catch me on YouTube on a Wednesday night. I'm on West Ham Network doing the Old School Hammers with my pal Kieran, and also on Green Street Elites, my channel, which the link is on the screen there. Thank you, Mama Flossie, you're a darling. And and also soon to be on the Bowling Lounge as well as a guest. And thank you, Tony, for inviting me on tonight. Really appreciate it. Thank you, guys on the panel. You've all been a pleasure to chat with, including you, Yeti, mate. I'm not going to give you grief, brother.
Just go for it, mate.
I happen to like you, mate. I think you're a good fella.
No, he's fucking.
Yeah, come on, Jez, stop it.
Lend me a fiver, mate.
Hey, I'll give you a fiver, mate. Don't you worry about it. But thank you. Yeah. So, catch up with you soon. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, mate. All right. And Jez, if you'd like to share yours there, please, mate.
Yeah, man, it's Arsenal history and more. Guys, great stream tonight. Fantastic. Tony, you're a fucking legend to me. Anthony, Hot Fuzz, the Yeti man. The content you're putting out right now is legend. It is fantastic, man. I still think you're an idiot, but there you go.
I'll take idiot. I've had prick. So, actually, no, that sounds bad. That sounds.
But yeah, it's all my show's all about Arsenal. I love getting other fans on. West Ham, Tottenham, no, Man United, whoever, Chelsea, whatever. It's all good fun. Budgie, great to see you again, fella.
And you, mate.
Yeah, we go back in time, and it's great to see you, man. And I will contact you and come over, and I'll come to your booth and have a beer with you, and we'll catch up in some old times and chat, and all that, brother. And I know you're not feeling great at the moment, but I'll catch up.
Well, I'm on what they call a break at the moment, so no more chemo at the moment, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Well, I'll give you a call this week, man.
Yeah, definitely. I'm up for that.
We'll cheer the fat from the back in the days. Good, bad, and all that. And it's good to see you, my friend. Tony, fucking legend, man. Well done. Great show.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much. So, as it's come to the end of that, we're just gone 2 hours and 6 minutes dead on. And that. Thanks very much for the panel, Anthony.
Shouted his stuff out.
Yeah, man, you prick.
Yeti, I've been shouting this stuff out.
Oh yeah, come on,
yeah.
it's your turn.
I just want to say, Tony, mate, I know what you're going through at the minute. So
thanks,
big love to you and big love to you, mate,
Appreciate
as well.
That.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I also want to say to the panel, big up Anthony Herbert, you prick. Big up Jez, you prick. And big up Hot Fuzz, you prick. And sorry, Budgie, but I'm going to say big up you prick as well. Because I'd love to be in that pub to have a drink with you guys, but, I might have to mug a few people before I can afford it. So, we'll see how that one goes. And also, I will say that Mama Flossie, you keep going on about your win. Gamble your head, man. Gamble your head. And and it's Longhead Yeti's Cave. All about forest, all about stuff. And big up, man. Really enjoyed this show. Thank you for having me on.
No, you're welcome, as always. Yeah. I mean, Christopher Walls give you a nice comment. The prickhead Yeti, the long-haired idiot.
Yeah.
So as always, we've got to thank the great people in the chat. As always, shut your mush Yeti, you prick. They're all having a go at you, mate. The love for the Yeti is unfound tonight. It's you can just feel the love going to the Yeti. That's a great panel, chat for us. What a great people these are that we have see us all the time and that. And as always, great to have you guys onto the stream. It makes it what the show is because of you guys. And as you can see, the Bubba Flossie, the Lord, the poor
Can I just jump in here, man? I've got to say, the chat is what makes it. Right?
Yeah.
We sit here, we can talk about whatever we want to talk about, a lot of old fucking bollocks. But it's the chat that makes it fascinating, And I said earlier on, the love and support I got last week was unbelievable. It was incredible. I mean, I was sitting there in hospital and I was like, what the fuck? It was relentless. And I just think, what an amazing, lovely people are out there. Yeah. And in our community, man, it's legend. Absolutely fucking legend.
Definitely is. So anyway, again, thanks very much, guys. If you'd like to say goodbye to the chat and goodbye to everyone else. Enjoy. See you next time. Take care now.
Hey, guys. You pricks.